Hey meine Lieben, hier ist Simeon, herzlich willkommen zu meinem neuen Video. Ich habe heute für euch wieder etwas ganz Großartiges, ein Interview mit dem fantastischen Drummond Money-Coutts, den ihr mit Sicherheit alle kennt als DMC Magic. Man kennt DMC auf der ganzen Welt, er produzierte mehrere Fernsehshows, die der Zauberkunst gewidmet waren, die richtig toll und richtig sehenswert sind. Zusammen mit National Geographic produzierte er Card Shark und Beyond Magic. Und im Jahr 2019 erschien in Deutschland seine Show in Kooperation mit Netflix, Death by Magic. Ich kenne DMC allerdings schon viel länger. Ich verfolge seine Arbeit seit vielen, vielen Jahren, weil ich ihn einfach nur als Zauberkünstler und als Menschen bewundere. Ich mag die Art und Weise, wie er performt, wie er mit der Zauberei umgeht, wie er die Zauberkunst benutzt, um Menschen zu inspirieren. Also hatte ich ein paar Fragen an ihn, die ich ihm geschickt habe, und er hat diese Fragen für mich beantwortet und er hat seine Antworten auf Video aufgenommen und dann hat er das Ganze sogar für mich geschnitten und mir komplett fertig zugeschickt, was einfach mal großartig ist. Es beweist einfach nur, dass er nicht nur ein toller Künstler, sondern einfach nur ein ganz besonderer Mensch ist. Ihr werdet viel lernen, wenn ihr ihm ganz genau zuhört. Ich wünsche euch ganz viel Spaß mit DMC Magic.
Mr. Semjon, how are you, sir? I hope you're very well. You very kindly sent me these questions last week, so I'm going to sit down. I'm going to do my level best to remain focused and on topic. It doesn't come naturally, but I will do my very best. Just bear with me. How do you make sure that your audience feels like they've experienced something truly magical and not just a fooling trick? This is something that I learned from Uri Geller. So when I was about 15, I invited Uri to come to my school, and he came very graciously and he blew everybody away. It was the biggest society meeting that had ever been. 700 boys, more than half the school turned up. We had to move the venue last minute because the space was too packed. And Uri turned up and electrified everybody. For weeks, it was all people were talking about was Uri and what he did and his abilities and his powers and his mystique, his aura. And I think what's very specific to Uri, beyond his ability to connect with people, to engage with people, which is at a level that I've seldom seen in anybody else. Uri, as a human being, as somebody to connect with, is on a level that is just I've so rarely ever seen in anybody else. He's a remarkable human being in many ways. Uri's ability to flow magically, when he's doing things, it just happens and it all feels improvised and spontaneous and like it's right there in the moment. He never has set lines, fixed maneuvers. Nothing ever feels structured. And I think that's a pivotal ingredient to magic feeling authentic, that when you go from line to line, someone makes a comment and you go back to your lines and you go back to the trick, allow that to breathe, play with that, embellish whatever they've said and turn that into something. Think how you could turn that into, how you could maybe turn the direction of your trick into something that they've just said. You say, it's interesting you said that because let me show you this. And it suddenly becomes real. You're not working from a script. You're not, left hand, right hand does this. It just flows. And as I say, when I was 15 and I met Uri, my mind was blown by how, unlike so many performers who have this very rigid performance style, he just flows. And at a very core level, when things feel spontaneous and like they are just happening in that moment, they feel real. When you're working from a script, everything feels too practiced, too rehearsed. They don't. What is your goal in magic? This is very easy. My goal simply is to recreate in the imaginations of other people a fraction of what magic gave me as a child. So I was a strange kid, introverted, shy, nervous, not very good at sports, not very bright, not very sociable. Magic was my happy place. It was my cave that I would dissolve into, and I would read about these greats. I would study these tricks. I would watch my heroes on television. And to be able to create a fraction of that for even a handful of children, of people of whatever age, is my only goal. To take that light of inspiration that I've taken from others and to hand down just a small part of that is everything. And that is what drives me. It's never been about numbers or fame or money or a show in Las Vegas, anything like this, it's been to take that warm glow that magic gave me so intensely, so powerfully as a child, and to, as best I can, hand that to other people. What is the biggest challenge while creating content for a TV show? Many challenges, many thousands of challenges every single day. On Netflix, we used paramedics on 3 out of the 8 stunts. People don't know this. Many things went wrong. It's just how it is. Television is always chaos. The venue falls through, you have to change, the lighting is off, the prop doesn't work, all manner of things are gonna happen, fall through, be unpredictable. You're gonna have creative challenges on the team. There was a moment on beautiful example on Netflix when I so wanted to do a rabbit out of a hat, and we went to this beautiful hat shop in Edinburgh in Scotland. It was snowing outside, and we had this wonderful mother and her daughter. And when we arrived that morning, the rabbit was the biggest rabbit I've ever, it was like this Rabbitzilla. It was this huge white rabbit, and it wouldn't work for the method that we had. And so we had about 10 minutes, we sat around, 3 or 4 of us, and we thought, okay, so what can we do within this space? How do we make this work? And within a few minutes, we'd worked out this method, which is it's now one of my favorite moments in the show. It's so magical. The look on the little girl's face when I pull the silk away and the rabbit is there is it's everything that magic should be. And we came up with that minutes before we filmed it. And it's just a perfect example. Many, many challenges. Television is a different beast. When you're performing in a predictable environment, close-up environment, that's one thing. But television, there are so many hundreds of elements, and if any one of them falls through, the whole game can be up. So it's a monster. It's a very beautiful monster. I adore the challenges of television, but it's certainly not for everybody. It's tough, it's grueling. Long days, you come off set one day, you're in the car back to the hotel, and you're prepping for the next day, and something's just fallen through, and the prop hasn't arrived, or has broken, or isn't ready, and you have to do something completely different. And it's something that when you see the finished product, it can feel smooth and flowing, but the truth is every single day of making television is crazy. On both my shows, I've made 8 episodes for each series, so 8 with National Geographic, 8 with Netflix, both full-length episodes in a matter of maybe 10 months. And so the schedule is incredibly tight, time is precious, crew everywhere, everybody just running from place to place. Netflix, we filmed back to back, Miami, Cape Town to India, India to London, London to Edinburgh, Edinburgh to Los Angeles. We filmed those 6 episodes back to back. We would have one travel day between each one. That was it. So we were running wild the whole way around with jet lag, with all kinds of things, props being delivered and arriving and not arriving, and every possible combination of chaos. But it's something that I adore. So television it's a very challenging world. Magic on television, there are movies that could be made behind the scenes on every single magic show. As I say, three times we used paramedics on out of 8 of the stunts. So almost half of them I had to go and see a paramedic for various reasons, and that's just how it is. So small things with rabbits, big things with water and with flames and fire and spikes, everything. Making television is difficult, but it's a very, very beautiful thing. What is the most important lesson you've learned while creating your TV specials? I would say the number one thing I've learned is the art of Zen, the art of, the serenity prayer. The serenity prayer that says, God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things that I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. All right, so as I say, many things in television will not go as planned. The end result will never quite be exactly what you want it to be. All manner of things, creative differences within the team, as I say, unpredictable, things that happen, accidents, mistakes, all of this. The acceptance with what is. You do your very best, you give it everything. The only thing that I can truly control within television, with so many dozens of people involved, is 100% who I am and how I come across, how I connect with my audiences. That's it. That is the only thing that is exclusively my domain. Everything else is up for grabs, and you won't perhaps agree with all of it, and you have to pick your battles, accept what is beyond your control, control those things that are within your control, and as the Serenity Press says, have the wisdom to know the difference. What would be your best advice to someone aspiring to succeed in magic? So many things, so many little nuggets of advice, but fundamentally, as Joseph Campbell said, follow your bliss. Do what you love, follow what excites you, follow what you find yourself thinking about when you fall asleep, when you wake up, when you're on a long train journey and you're looking out of the window, dreaming up a vision of your future. Follow that thing. When I was in my early 20s, I had a mentor, a man who changed my life. And in his very first email to me, John said, do what you love and everything else will follow. And that's something that I've always stuck to. I've never looked left and right at other magicians. I've never tried to emulate the blueprints of success of others. Anybody who has attained some level of success in any form, obviously commercially, professionally, financially, in terms of fame, whatever it might be, anybody, everybody, they've all done it in different ways, in completely different combinations of events and happenstance meetings with people and things that just fell at the right moment. So there's really no use in copying the template of others, because that happened for them probably 5 years ago and the world is a different place now. So do it your way, as Frank Sinatra said. Do it in a way that feels right to you. Be mindful of not just copying others, doing whatever it takes to get the money, to get the fame, to get the recognition. There are all too many cases of people who do whatever it takes to get somewhere. They get there and they realize it's an empty box and they've lost a part of themselves along the journey. So as everybody says, success is not about what you get or what you attain, it's what you become. It's a very, very important idea. You should enrich yourself every day through what you do. Make sure that you're fulfilled by what you do. And in that way, there is no losing, there is no failure. Succeed day by day, do what you love. And as I say, over time, as you continue to commit yourself to your work, to your magic, I guarantee over time, eventually, you will have all that you wish for. So there you go, just a handful of ideas. I hope within that there is even an acorn of something useful for a few of you. If anybody has further questions, by all means send me a message on whatever platform. I will do my very best. But for now, I wish you every success with your magic, the magic that you do, and I will see you very soon.
Limon, Singapour,